Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I will be continuing with if Naruto was like Gaara. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So, as Naruto, Hinata, Zabuza, and Kakashi and the other two people that are there are standing there, um, they begin to amass a group of people surrounding the area that they're standing in on the gate, on the wall. There are shinobi blocking them so they can't run around the village on the wall. And there's a whole bunch of shinobi like around them. There's like, yeah, there's like a whole bunch of people just looking at them. And out from the crowd of shinobi comes the fifth Hokage, Jiraiya. And Jiraiya asks these cloaked figures why they're here and why they have their people. And Naruto start um yells out Jiraiya's name and tells him that at least he did something right, you could say, by becoming Hokage. And Jiraiya was like, "Do I know you?" And Naruto took off his hood and was like, "Oh, you're right, you don't. My bad." And Jiraiya was like, "Naruto, what are you doing here?" And Naruto was like, "I'm just coming to reveal to you all that I am the leader of a village that is not led by any of the great villages, thank God. And we have the One Tails and the Nine Tails." As Gaara takes off his hood and they like start to get a little worried because not only now do they have, well, the Nine Tails, they also have the One Tails, which although is just the One Tails, it's still a tailed beast. So like not a lot of people are gonna be able to fight anything like that. So Jiraiya, obviously knowing that if Naruto and Gaara both started trying to fight them right now, that this isn't going to end well for them, Jiraiya tries to de-escalate the situation, asking him, is he coming here to negotiate with them on resources? And Naruto begins to laugh and was like, do you really think I would want to negotiate with the village that ruined my life? And Jiraiya was like, this is a different village, Naruto. I made it a different village. No one is treated the way you were treated. And Naruto was like, oh, so now it takes one kid to get hurt, so that way none of them can, huh? And Jiraiya was like, Naruto, that's not what I meant. And Naruto tells him, it doesn't even matter what you meant. It's what I heard. You felt guilty for me turning out the way that I did. So instead of leaving the village again to go work out, not work out, but like to go investigate some Akatsuki member or whatever. Because by this time Naruto has heard and have had several encounters with the Akatsuki. So Naruto is very much aware of who they are. So Naruto tells him that like he begins to go on about how you only did this because you felt bad that I turned out this way, so you decided to make sure that no other kid had to turn out the way I did. You made sure that no other kid had to go through the same pain I had to go through. You're not going to let them go through what I went through. And honestly, I don't think that's fair. And Jiraiya was like, "What do you mean by fair, Naruto?" And he was like, "Think about it. I get called a monster and harassed by these villagers on a day-to-day basis, and then I leave, and then you come along and make the whole village a better place, all because you weren't there to protect me from the beginning. Don't you think that sounds a little, I don't know, wrong?" I mean, yeah, you're right, they're just kids, but I was just a kid too, remember? And Naruto was like, "You know what?" And he forms a giant tailed beast bomb over his head. And he's like, "There is one way you can repay me." And Jiraiya, seeing the tailed beast bomb, tells everyone to get back. And Kakashi was like, "Naruto, we've talked about this." And Naruto was like, "Jiraiya, there's one way that you can stop this from happening. Either you can give up your role as Hokage because you don't deserve it, or B, you can bring me the third Hokage, Hiruzen." And before fuck, before Jiraiya could answer, the Hiruzen yells out from the back that there's no need for Jiraiya to step down from Hokage. And Naruto was like, "Oh, well, that was easier than expected, old man." And the tail beast ball shrunk to about like the size of like your pointer finger, and Naruto shot it clean through the third Hokage's chest, killing him almost instantly. And Kakashi and Jiraiya were both surprised because Kakashi, although did go with him to yeah, he wasn't expecting Naruto to kill anyone, specifically any Kage. So Kakashi asks Naruto, why did he kill the Lord Third? And Naruto was like, "You're supposed to have complete blind devotion toward me, remember? Isn't that what Jiraiya said?" And um Kakashi was like, "I don't listen to Jiraiya." And Naruto was like, "Oh, what about Hiruzen? You can't now, he's dead." And Naruto was like, "So who are you talking about exactly?" And Kakashi tells Naruto that they have to talk later on. And Naruto was like, "Okay, so I can continue with this then." And Kakashi was like, "Yeah." But Kakashi kept his hood on because he didn't want to be involved with that whole shenanigan. He's just there specifically for Naruto as a as a form of payment toward Minato. That's what he sees it as. He sees his way of protecting Naruto as a form of payment toward Minato for saving the village all those years ago. So Naruto goes to explain that the only way for the Leaf and his people to ever come to a truce was if the person that caused Naruto all this distress and pain was killed. And Jiraiya, feeling some type of way because that is his master, tells Naruto that he wasn't the one that caused all of your pain. Yeah, he was one of the people that could have did something about it, but he wasn't the main reason of who caused it. And Naruto was like, Oh yeah, then who caused it then? And Jiraiya tells him that the um shinobi known as Obito Uchiha, not Obito Uchiha, fuck, Madara Uchiha. I'm sorry, I keep calling him Obito because I've already finished Naruto, so I know it's Obito. So yeah, but known as Madara Uchiha, and Naruto was like, "Why is it always these damned Uchiha?" And Naruto was like, "So, if he was the one that caused me the distress, why couldn't any of you just stop it? Any of you could have stopped it. Any person with half a mind could have just said that, hey, it's not nice to pick on someone. But no, you didn't. So I killed him." And instead of helping me and training me to ignore things like that, you guys just left me in an apartment with noodles and milk and a swing and expected me to be okay. Fuck you. And Haruzen um like is gasping for air. Like, well, not gasping for air, but he's shot through the chest, so he still technically is alive for a little bit. So as they're like talking, Tsunade is trying to heal Haruzen, and Haruzen dies, and Tsunade is angry. So Tsunade tries to jump at Naruto, and as she begins, like as she's like in the air, Naruto holds out his hand and forms a Rasengan about the size of a small child and fires it off at her like a wind bullet, and Naruto was like, sorry, and it smacks her and she hits the ground, and it's still like as she's hitting the ground, it's still spinning in her, like it's still spinning on her. Like Naruto controls when his things explode. So it's still spinning on her. So she's still getting damaged. And like after 10 seconds of just nothing but spinning and her getting injured by it, it dissipates. And Naruto was like, sorry, but I'm too strong to be to be fighting weaklings like you. And Tsunade gets back up and was like, who are you calling weak? And she turns on her 100 healings, and right before she jumps again, Gaara puts her in a sand prison, and it was like, we're calling you weak. And Naruto was like, so with that being said, if she's your strongest shinobi, punching wise, and she can't even get close, what makes you think any of you are gonna do anything? And when you look back at the crowd of shinobi that are there, they're very angry considering that Naruto just murked the third Hokage in front of everyone. And a couple of them decide that they don't care if they're not going to be able to do anything. They still want to help, like to help stop Naruto. So a couple of them jump up, and Naruto look like looks at them like they're starting, like they're running up the wall, and Naruto was like, "You guys can't even muster up the chakra to jump this far, and you're expecting me to actually fight you?" And he just shoots them with Rasengans, and Naruto asks again, well, tells them again that there's no point in them fighting, and the next time he's not going to be so friendly telling them. And they didn't really believe him at first until like Kiba ran up, like tried to do his fang over fang thing to try to run into Naruto, and Naruto caught him mid-air with his wind and pulled all the oxygen like out of Kiba's lungs and let him suffocate. And like right before he died, he dropped him and let him breathe again. Like right before he passed out and died, Naruto dropped him and let him breathe again and was like, "I'm not going to give you a second warning." And um like as Naruto says this, familiar voice from the like he hears a familiar voice coming from the crowd, and he glances like he looks behind like this kind of like tall. He moves like this tall Jonin over using his wind, like not gently, like he legit picks this man's up and throws him. And from behind that person, he sees this pink-haired girl known as Sakura. And Sakura has gotten a relatively good reputation. She's a pretty good shinobi now. She's more capable than what she was in canon. So Naruto was like, "So, it seems that the only person left in this village from Team 7 is you." And Sakura was like, "What's that supposed to mean, Naruto?" And Naruto was like, "Wow, you're the only person here that's willing to call me by that name." And she was like, "I'm the only person here that's not afraid of you." And Naruto was like, "Sakura, you say that like you can beat me." And Sakura was like, I may not be able to beat you, but you'll always still be that weak little kid that we all used to know. Well, that we used to know before you unlocked your abilities." And Naruto gets mad and grabs her with his wind and pulls her all the way up to the gate wall and tells her that he was never weak. He just didn't want to hurt anyone. And now people are forcing his hand. He never wanted to hurt anyone. And Sakura was like, "So why are you doing this?" And Naruto was like, "Because it's fun." And Jiraiya was like, "What do you mean it's fun?" And Naruto was like, Look at the expression on your all's faces. You all are scared, horrified, hate. The expressions on your faces say it all to me. The same way when you guys used to pick on me, you know, the same way you all would, like, yeah. Like, the same way you guys usually picked on me, got those expressions out of me, and I used to never say anything about it. So now I'm gonna do what you all used to do to me in one go. So I've killed someone in front of you, someone that all of you held dear. And now that you know that you're powerless to stop me, what are you going to do? And Tsunade gets back up and tells Naruto that even if she can, well, she breaks like she breaks out of the sand prison because Gaara broke focus for a little bit because he heard Gaara broke focus because he heard something off it. Like Gaara broke focus because he sensed something off into the distance. He sensed one of the paths of pain off into the distance, and instead of telling Naruto, he waited, which made him lose focus on Tsunade, which which prompted Tsunade to leave the prison. So Naruto looks back at Gaara and was like, "My bad." And Gaara was like, "My bad, I lost focus." And Naruto was like, "Don't let it happen again." And Gaara was like, "Whoa, what's going on with you?" And Naruto was like, "Kurama just told me that there was someone watching us, someone that you sensed but you didn't tell me about." And not the Nine Tails is like, what do you? Well, not Jiraiya, fuck, Gaara was like, what are you talking about, Naruto? And Gar, Gar was like, yeah, Gar was like, what are you talking about, Naruto? And Naruto was like, don't play coy with me. I know you've sensed that pain. That's why your sand prison was weak, and that's why Tsunade's out now. And Tsunade was like, hey, I'm still down here. And Naruto was like, be quiet. And he grabs her, like, he uses like his own version of the sand prison. He puts Tsunade in his own form of a wind prison, basically using the air around her to bind her to where she stands. And Naruto tells Jiraiya that now that Hiruzen is dead, he will consider joining the Leaf Village again, but he still has some business to attend to outside the Leaf Village. And they both, like, Naruto and his people leave, and Tsunade, after Naruto leaves, like 5 minutes after Naruto leaves, she's unbinded, meaning that like they're like far away now. So Tsunade was ready to chase after Naruto, but Jiraiya was like, "There's no point in trying to chase after them. What were you gonna do when you caught up to them anyway?" And Tsunade was like, "I was gonna fight them." And mm, Jiraiya was like, "And lose?" That's the one tails and the nine tails. And you got sandbinded by one of them. If he would have stayed focused, you would have never made it out of that alive. If Naruto saw that fitting, if Naruto saw that as a fitting grave for you. So don't play that we're just gonna run up to them and start fighting, because your 100 healings is good, but it's also has its limits. And sorry, but two-tailed beasts definitely could be yours. And Jiraiya walks away. And Tsunade was like, what's wrong with him? And um some Ambu member was like, him and Naruto had a personal chakra bout halfway going through it when you were in the sand prison, so you couldn't sense anything. And Naruto is a freak of nature. He shouldn't exist. And Gaara isn't any better because I'm pretty sure he trains with Naruto. But that's just going off my observation. It looks like everyone in Naruto's ring runs through Naruto runs through them. Like Naruto tells them what to do, they do it the way Naruto would do it, and then they would move along. So Tsunade was like, so what you're telling me is that Jiraiya is no longer a threat to Naruto. And the Anbu member was like, it's not like he never was a threat. It's not like he's no longer a threat. Naruto made it seem like he was never a threat to him. And Tsunade was like, so that's what's making Jiraiya so mad. It's the fact that Naruto doesn't even perceive us as threats, although we are legendary Sani. And Naruto um tells Gaara that since he didn't tell him that pain was there, he gets to run night patrol. And night patrol is like patrolling like the border between the leaf and the stone. So that's a very hard patrol because they both have patrols, and if you get caught in one spot, they'll probably end up trying to fight you. Plus, Gar was wanted, so if they catch Gar anywhere, they're still gonna want to fight him. So Gara was like, "That's not fair." How was it my fault? And Naruto was like, maybe next time you'll tell me instead of just leaving everything to yourself. And Hinata was like, Naruto, maybe it's not very smart for him to go out by himself. And Naruto was like, okay, fine, then you can go with him. And she was like, I guess so. And uh, Naruto was like, so when we get back to base, that's what you two are going to be doing, the night shift. The night, you guys are going to be working with the night scouting party. And Kakashi was like, huh, good luck with that bunch. And um, Hinata was like, why did you say that? And Naruto was like, because there's someone on there that has a very unique ability, and we never told you all because we never thought that was fitting. So when we get back to the uh our village, I have to introduce you all to, well, introduce you two to someone very, very, very interesting. So Hinata and Gaara look at each other and was like, sure, okay. So they get back to their village, and Naruto summons Hinata and Gaara the to their like capital or governor's building or whatever the fuck, the building, like their chain of command building. And Naruto was like, everyone, I would like you to meet the girl now has a name. I would like you to meet I would like you to meet Iris. And um Hinata was like, wait, that's the little girl that lives with us. And Naruto was like, yeah. And Hinata was like, so how is she a part of the night um people? And Naruto was like, she can sense chakra way better than almost anyone else here. Like, when she gets older, she's gonna be in a league of her own. Like, she scares Naruto right now just a little bit because her latent potential is a lot higher than Naruto's. So Hinata was like, so your name is Iris, and you've been using the night shifts to train? And she was like, yeah, to get myself better. And Naruto, um, one of Naruto's information brokers walks in the room and, well, information gatherers walks in the room and tells Naruto that the Leaf Village is upping their security all around their border, trying to find any non-leaf or stone or any non-claimed villages, and are trying to claim them all. And Naruto was like, that's interesting. Do you know which side they're working on first? And Naruto, Naruto's information gatherer tells them that he can only give them that much information. If he tells them any more, the village might get a little suspicious. And the information gatherer jumps off, like, yeah, the information gatherer jumps out back out through the window that they came through. And Hinata was like, who was that? And Naruto was like, don't worry about who that is. That's none of your information. So with that being said, I do believe you two should start getting ready for your night shift. And this is where I'm in this part off. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi, and peace.